Why? Welcome back, UMG, South Carolina, Myrtle Beach. A lot of people just turned to look at me in the crowd, and that is a little bit scary, to be completely honest. Hey, guys, how you doing? I got to ask, you guys were with Golden Boy earlier. Not all of us have had the pleasure of being able to do that. So what was the experience like? Do you regret it? Did you learn anything? Anything you're going to be taking forward with that experience?
I loved it. It was fantastic.
Really?
Golden Boy
Okay.
is a fantastic man, great caster. And honestly, when it came to like early in my career of casting, I always looked up to him. Like, just, and I'm not just saying that because he's walking around the venue. I don't know where he is exactly, but no, he was a fantastic guy to cast with. And he's like, he casts like every esport. Like, he has knowledge in everything. And it's fantastic, to be able to cast with him and see what he's kind of been up to. So it was fantastic though. Really enjoyed casting with Golden Boy, but now I'm casting with you, and it's basically might be better.
Interesting.
I don't know.
That is a very professional answer of you. You had an opportunity to completely tear Golden Boy down, but you didn't because you're a good guy, Landon. This is why we call you Buttercup Bill, just because of how sweet you are. Either way, similar things coming out. The flashbang and concussion ban coming in from Rise. Pretty consistent again. They've done it, I think, in every single respawn possible. Nothing too exciting. Rapid Fire got taken down. High Caliber, got taken down. The Shiv is going to be gone because of Fizzerp. These things happen. Kinetic, Overdrive, Afterburn. There's really not much insight to give at this point. Very standard the whole way through. This is just what people do. I think, High Caliber and Rapid Fire have gotten banned almost every single match we've seen on main, with the exception of Envy, who protected Rapid Fire once and, it didn't work. So, whatever. Yeah,
Luminosity kind of just took full control over that, but we'll see how things kind of line up. The Specialist Trapped is now complete. As I'm taking a look through the overall Specialist out of the side of H2k, nothing really out of the ordinary. But always something to kind of mention when you do see that Vision Pulse, how will you use it? I think when it comes to CTF as well, very, very important specialist to be using. When it comes, obviously, to a smaller map like Fringe, you can obviously have when that ping kind of extends out, you're going to see a lot more of the map than you would in other maps. So it looks like pretty much normal things over on the side of H2k. Chance, what are we seeing for Rise Nation as far as the specialist, Cal?
Nothing out of the ordinary. A little bit kill heavy, I guess you could say, the Scythe and the Annihilator, just because, the other side of the board, they have 3 of the abilities, but not too crazy. Octane loves using the Scythe Classic. I mean, I missed him, but we saw in the kill feed, picked up a 3-piece with the Annihilator the previous game. Looney has been sticking with that Heat Wave the entire time, and Slack has been pretty consistent with the active camos. Nothing out of the ordinary. The active camo, obviously, can be incredibly useful. Touch the flag, and then poof, you're gone like a magician. Poof. You don't even have to use smokes, which is something that we might actually see from H2k this time around, but I actually like the Vision Pulse pick for CTF, because if you have the flag, they know where you are anyway. You're already going to be pinged on the map every couple of seconds, so you might as well just have the wall hacks, and you can call it to your teammates where everybody is. You can swarm. If your base is clear, if you have these overtime situations, you can check your own base out instantaneously, or it takes like a second or two. Or when you're on the attack, you can figure out exactly how many defenders you're going to be dealing with. A lot of things can be useful when you can see people through walls.
Absolutely. And, one thing I want to point out is obviously the H2k has yet to take a respawn in this series. That's going to be very, very important. This is the opportunity for them to finally get on the board and obviously tie this one up at 2 apiece. I'm definitely kind of favoring Rise Nation when it comes to overall just CTF. They seem to be a little bit better when it comes to these team-based respawn game modes. Obviously, in Search and Destroy, H2k has looked pretty well, but in general, I think Rise Nation has the ability to close it out, and this could be, their road to victory. As if they do win this one, they'll be at match point for the overall series, since it is obviously a best of 7. So, taking a look as we get ready to hop into game number 4. We're going over to Fringe for a little bit of CTF, and H2k, this could be possibly in some cases, not their last opportunity, but this could kind of be the major decider if they do tie this one up, or if we do have that, overall 2-game advantage for the side of Rise Nation. And obviously we got to mention as well, the winner of this series in general will face off, I believe, is that right, against Luminosity Gaming in the grand final. So that's going to be very important. That game will come up right after this one, so keep in mind for that. So if you get ready to hop into Fringe CTF, Chance, the age-old question, who do you want to hop on board with first?
I don't care. Let's just go Fizzerp. Why not? We're going to go with Fizzerp. Actually, no, I take that back. I missed Classic's 3-piece with the Annihilator, so I'm going to give him a little bit of love off the rip. But to me, I think you could definitely make a pretty good argument for this being a must-win match for H2k, just because the only respawn they have left after this, potentially, by the way, Fizzerp gets that first blood, would be Hardpoint. And we could definitely say that Rise is the more well-formed Hardpoint team, especially if they pull the switch like they did earlier on EVAC. Either way, though, that's just kind of the lay of the land. CTF so far, you can see both teams playing this very, very slowly. Classic is army crawling up the map, and Wells going to have a player land right in front of him. He's going to shoot him in the place that hurts the most, but Fears is going to be able to get that trade, but nothing too standout happening so far.
Not at all. Now H2k have a little bit of an opportunity to possibly make their way forward, but no, Rise Nation responding with a couple kills. Now Fizzerp has to, in some ways, reference back player but just behind him to possibly do a little bit of work, but he's going to not win that gunfight. Actually, as Slack takes him down. Nice MR6 shots from him. And now they're going to have a little bit of control, trying to make their way. The smokes are out, and the flag has been not captured, excuse me, has been ran. As Slack falls, now Looney has a possible opportunity to do something a little bit big. He possibly could go for the kill. Will he do it? He possibly drops one, doesn't kill that player fully. He turns around, drops one, and he can't find the second. So fantastic shots coming in from Looney, but not equaling out to too much as H2k have found the kills, and now Lacefield is on the run with that flag.
Yeah, and Legal is gonna need to get some cutoff kills right here. He's gonna be focusing on trains. Those players are coming through mid-map. Lacefield trying to work himself around the back. The player's actually been able to sneak through. Looney with the nade is actually gonna peg him out. Still though, some kills have gone in. Fizzard needs to go to touch that flag, and that is not gonna be the case. Legal is not gonna be there. That flag is gonna get returned. More importantly, they're on the attack of their own. Legal in one's own gunfight. Pops out, gets away, goes for the one burst, trying to connect. That is not gonna be the case. Classic wins the gunfight, and he is running away with the flag, and it looks like he might be able to get a bit of a break if he turns and kills the player underneath. Hits the one burst on Lacefield. Nice moves by him. There's going to be one player going for the counter cap. That's going to be Fears. Fears needs to get away. He's surrounded by two different players, and this is not a good situation for him to be in. He's going to get dropped. That flag gets returned, and Classic caps the first one in. Has the Annihilator, is fully streaked out. Rise with the 1-0 lead.
That's fantastic play from Classic. You know, winning that gunfight, especially inside a barn to run that one through, and obviously having the Rise Nation players kind of tack Fears and get that return was so big for them. They obviously do have that 1 point advantage. Like you said, Chance, when it comes to CTF, that first flag cap is so important. It kind of sets the tone for the entire game and realizes how the game is most likely going to kind of turn out. So Rise Nation doing a great job here off the break. And now H2k has their opportunity to push their way forward and kind of force the opportunity in the gunfights at hand. As we're going to be on board with Fears, a fantastic AR, kind of throughout Advanced Warfare. It wasn't really, I don't think, really given the credit that he was due, and he's doing a lot of that work here in Advanced Warfare, or excuse me, in Black Ops 3 as well. With a great Advanced Warfare player in his own regard, but hopping it back into the overall gameplay. Legal going to be forcing his way through mid-street. Sees one player kind of forcing his way into bricks, and he ends up dropping. God. So 3 down for H2k. This is Rise Nation possibly getting another flag out.
Yeah, quite a few shaky shots coming in from the players on H2k. They're going to need to regain their composure just a little bit, but right now Rise is in this complete control situation that they have. Octane just circling back to his base to make sure they keep the spawns. Meanwhile, Looney is out here pulling flags, and you can see the smokes again being used. We expect it from Fizzard, but Rise taking control. That heat wave, though, is absolutely perfect. That's going to be a flag return. Either way, though, there is no one currently for H2k that looks like they're going to be in a great position to pull the flag because everyone right now is on the defensive end. Legal going to take that guy down with the HC car, and that is important because of the Annihilator, as you said. Fizzard, again, using that vision pulse on the offensive as well, is going to be able to get 3 with it. That's going to be a flag pull, and he is going to be gone, running it to his teammates who are coming up over by trains. Hellstorm, though, taking him down, and that just goes back to the earlier play. Still, though, the one player left alive is actually going to get killed, and that flag gets returned.
That was a great play out of H2k, kind of swarming around the base near Grandma's, and a lot of the streaks were used, and a lot of the specials were used as well. So that was kind of a hefty kind of engagement, and used a lot, and just did not end up working in their favor. Those nice streaks coming in from Classic were so big, and now Slack just spots a player, and he's going to get a little bit of an interesting gunfight. Turns around and does a 360, but it's not going to work out very well. And now Octane has to reference back and is going to realize he does have that scythe in hand, and he drops 2 just like that. I think he used like 3 bullets and killed 2 players. I'm not sure how that exactly worked, but the scythe, very, very important for him as he does end up playing some pretty good defense, as well. It will be Looney currently inside of what would be the base of H2k. Finds Lacefield and now has a good opportunity. Rise Nation constantly pushing. It looks like H2k have always had the answer for the most part. A nice turn on there from Slack as he takes down one inside of fences, as it will be Rise Nation possibly with an opportunity to get this last second cap, and H2k turtling up, trying to make sure that this does not happen.
Yeah, some of these gunfights are just absolutely ridiculous, though. Legal is able to win that one with the RK5. But, close score, only a 1 flag lead, right now for Rise. And, of course, you got to give props. There was 2 clutch stops on the defensive end. I think one was by Looney with a nade, and the other, of course, Classic reining in with the Hellstorm. But still, close game, a little bit surprising. Rise, I thought they would have had a little bit more just because it just seems crazy. I think we've seen 3 or 4 times they, get shot first, end up 1 shot, and then somehow just turn on the guy. It's nuts.
Yeah, and that's one thing to kind of point out as well. H2k really in some cases need to get off to a good start. Make their name known, and kind of in some ways be in a great position for these next 5 minutes. This Classic gonna let them know, punch the body, and shoot some end up shots, but it's not going to obviously fare off very, very well in the end. But either way, next 5 minutes come into play. How can H2k respond, and can Rise Nation continue their dominance when it comes to overall respawns. This is H2K's, not their last opportunity because there obviously is another game left, but we'll see how they can do. Can they respond back with a flat cap of their own, or will we see Rise Nation continue how well they've done up to this point in overall respawns? But we're going to hop on board with Legal here as he is currently in Tool. Gets shut down just like that with some nice shots coming out of Octane. HDXD car inbound as that one gets found out, and that flag jacket coming into use and being very, very useful as Looney has found that flag and currently has it in his mitts.
Yeah, and now Octane is in the power position over by White Truck. He is going to get heat wave, though. Looney falls with the flag as well, and it looks like that is going to get returned pretty quickly, though. That is going to be 2 down in favor of Rise. There's one player on the defensive end. That is going to be Legal. Legal is only able to pick up 1. Slacked is able to come in, pick up the flag, and he's going to get out. Now you see all the players for H2K are spawning up over by 10. It looks like Fears is able to win the first gunfight. He's going to push far back, has the Annihilator as well. Lacefield pulls out the flag. The first shot's going to be a miss, so is the second. There's the flag. The return's going to get there. He gets 1, but not before Rise caps the flag. Of course, Legal is going to be going for the counter pull. He's going to get shut down right away. Fears still has an opportunity. He's by himself, dodges the HC car, but Slacked is going to be right there, and Rise, again, making the correct plays, taking that 2-0 lead.
That was Fears' opportunity to go big. He pulled out the Annihilator, and in the end, it just didn't equal up to too much. That's going to be kind of unfortunate as Rise is able to find, yet again, another cap for themselves. Octane has the flag in hand. He ends up dropping it. Now Classic is going to possibly spot the flag before it gets returned. It's not going to happen, and Legal shuts him down there as well. I want to point out the scorecard up to this point. Lacefield currently sitting at 5-14. Just not a good start for him off the break, and that could be a little bit of why H2K has been struggling overall in this current game, as he now is just, trying to walk around the map, trying to find some kills just in general, and kind of reference back to this base. If he can get a flag out, this would be so big. Accidentally punches instead, and that's going to be kind of unfortunate as 3 players from H2K fall, and now Rise Nation have an opportunity to grab a little bit more map control and just in general.
Well, gonna see what is going right currently for Rise. You see Looney's gonna pick 1 up over by Trains. He's going for the second as well over there by L Wall, but he's just gonna escape with his life. And again, 7.5 second respawn. It's very important just to stay alive as long as you can. Classic, I really hope I don't miss another 3-piece, so I'm just gonna jump on board after we get that first one. The Annihilator misses the second shot, not quite able to connect with the third as well. Still though, Rise is gonna be pouring on the pressure, and you see the flagpole does come in. Fears is gonna be trying to hunt Octane down. Octane just trying to make it over to Trains. He is gonna get dropped. Fears going for the second kill as well, and that is an important defensive stand. However, H2K down by 2. They only have 2.5 minutes to work left.
And a great play there from Fears to kind of limit that flag cap. That almost could have been, as that would have been very, very detrimental to the overall H2K kind of motivation, as they're going to try to bring this one back. Legal now has the flag, and he's going to be able to take down 2 players. And can he get this flag out is the question. No, he's going to drop, and that re is going to come into play. So every time H2K really gets a flag, I mean, this is the issue. H2K pushes their way forward, but they really have no one in the base. And if they do have someone in the base, they always get shut down. And now Looney's going to have a possible flag opportunity. Those players are getting shut down. The cuts have been made, and now this looks to be another possible flag cap for the side of Rise Nation. Those players have been shut down. There's only really one player to possibly make a play, and it's not going to happen. That's going to be 3 flags yet again for Rise Nation, as it will be Looney just getting closer and closer to that possible lightning strike, as he currently does have that heat wave and also the HDXD car in his back pocket as he ends up dropping. But Rise Nation look on the come up as they are doing fantastic with just 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining. Yeah,
it seems like every single time that H2K starts to push up for map control, there's going to be one player. We've seen both Looney and Octane do it, just push around on the overextension, pick up the flag. In worst case scenario, they just waste time. Best case scenario, they get the flags. Octane's over here gunning kids with the MR6. He's got the cutoffs as well. Now there is a little bit of pressure. He's getting shot in the back. It looks like Legal might be able to go for this flag return. And even if he gets it though, still 1 minute. They need 3 flags. They're going to have to go absolutely nuts to make this happen. And of course, there you see Looney just using that heat wave to perfection, making another clutch defensive stop.
Rise Nation just playing absolutely fantastic defense, and now they're just going to go and run the specialist out there to realize that this one is looking to absolutely go their way. There's that, that's going to be in the hands of overall. Now they're going to be rocking those score streaks that they've been saving up all game in case this one came down to the very end, but it really doesn't matter too much. And we talked about constant times. Is Lightning Strike really worth it that much as we do end up seeing a team kill? But either way, this has been a dominant performance out of the side of Rise Nation. They were up 1-0 at the half and been able to obviously run in 2 more flags. And like I said, I don't want to point out Lacefield and kind of give him a little bit of hate here, but 8-21, definitely in some cases coming into this game, we talked about who was going to be a difference maker when it comes to respawns. He's definitely a brilliant player, and I think him having that kinetic armor might make him feel a little bit more at home. But that we obviously did see that one banned prior to this game starting, so that might be a little bit of the case. And just kind of unfortunate for the guys of H2K as they lose yet again another respawn, and the Rise Nation are at match point.
Well, I mean, props to all the guys on Rise. They all had pretty solid games, especially Looney. You know, most kills. He was able to finish off with 21. Most kills in the lobby, that is. Also, had the flag cap. You know, how many times do we see him again on the overextension? Just at the very least being a nuisance, and when he's not doing that, he's getting the defensive stance, either getting those clutch nade kills to stop the flag carry or getting 2 pieces while he waving people to stop flag pulls. Like, doing everything right. Everything was going in favor of Rise, and, of course, what that means, they're up 3-1 in the series. H2K, they're going to have to win 3 in a row to make the comeback. Granted, 2 of those are Search and Destroy, and they've been playing Search and Destroy very well so far this tournament. But again, they got to get past that hard point on Breach if they even make it that far.
True,
and
yeah.
that's going to be very tough for them to be able to do.
I'll go and run to the maps for everyone, obviously. Next map coming up is going to be Search and Destroy Evac. And obviously, if we do see something forced a little bit later, like you mentioned, Breach Hardpoint up next, then after that, if it does come down to it, Game 7, if we do see H2K clutch up after 2 straight games, we'll be heading to some Infection, Search, and Destroy. Do you even think we make it to a Game 6 at all?
Game 6? I think we do. I think H2K is going to be able to clutch up in S&D. These guys are definitely going to be able to maintain their composure, especially going into a favored game mode. Now, that being said, they can't afford to make sloppy mistakes. They can't afford to have one player that is not performing up to the level that they're capable of. Again, Lacefield 8-21, that's simply just not going to cut it in any game mode, especially S&D. That would be nuts if you had to go 8-21 in S&D.
I don't know if that's possible.
Either way, though, I do think that if they win if they force it to Game 7, I think H2K is going to be able to close it out.
Okay.
However, Rise is